Determining the end behavior of a graph of a polynomial function. So if we're given a polynomial function, let's say we have 5x to the fourth minus 3x cubed plus 7x squared minus 2x plus 1. All we care about is the highest degree term and the number in front of it. So that's all we care about. Okay? So that highest degree term, we're going to call that y equals ax to the n. Okay, our first scenario, we're going to go with n is even. So what they're talking about in behavior is what is the graph doing as you look all the way right and as you look all the way left? Is it going up or down? All right, so if n is even in part A, if a is greater than 0, if a is positive, what will happen is we have no idea what happens in the middle, but we don't care. But we have both ends will go up. Like I said, we don't know what really happens in the middle, but we don't care. So this will rise to the left and right. Okay. The one you're most familiar with is x squared, the parabola. X squared, 1x squared, one's positive, and x squared, that's a little ugly, sorry. Okay. That rises to the left, it rises to the right. Okay? So x to the fourth are all the same, they just do different stuff in the middle, but we don't care because we're talking about end behavior, so we don't care what happens in the middle. Okay, B, if a is less than 0, like negative x squared, what will happen is to the left and to the right, it'll open down. And once again, we don't care what happens in the middle. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so this falls to the left and right. Okay, and that's like just like negative x squared. Jump ahead, so I ran out of room here. Okay, so the other scenario is number 2 if n is odd. Okay, that's kind of like we probably know what x cubed looks like. X cubed looks something like this. Okay, so if a is greater than 0, what we're going to do, we don't know what exactly happens in the middle and what it exactly looks like, but we know it's going to fall to the left and rise to the right. What happens in the middle, who knows? So we don't really care about this middle part. All we care about end behavior. So it falls left and rises right. Okay. And then part B, if a is less than 0, it just gets reflected over the x. So this goes up and this goes down. So you're going to look something that looks like this. And what happens in the middle, we don't care. So this middle part we don't care about. So this rises left and it falls right. Once again, we don't care what happens in the middle, so I'm just drawing some squiggly lines. All we care about is this and this piece. So we're concerned, right here, right there, and right there. Those are the 4 pieces we're concerned with. We don't care about the middle, just so it doesn't even matter if it's there or not. Okay. All right, let's look at a couple of Aleks problems. Okay, so you can see Alex uses it to click some buttons. There we go. All right, so this first problem, all we care about is the highest degree, which I think they usually put in front, but just be careful, just in case they change it up on you. Okay, so this power is odd, and it's negative. So we can go back to our notes. If this is odd and this is negative, it's going to rise to the left, fall to the right. So rise to the left, falls to the right. There we go. And the highest power for this one is negative 3x to the fourth. Even's easy. They either both go up or both go down. With a negative in front, they both go down. So this falls to the left, falls to the right. So there's our answer for that one. And the last problem, which is kind of a curveball. Okay, all we have to do is take the highest power of each one. So we're going to ignore this plus 1 and this minus 4. So what we have is 3x times x squared. That's how you'll figure out the highest degree. And that equals 3x to the 2, 3, 4 to the fourth. So that's our highest degree term right there. So if it's even, that means they both go the same way. And if it's positive, it's rising. So it rises to the left and rises to the right. So there's that one. So that's as hard as you get. So just ignore the minus 4 and the plus 1. So it's 3x, x, and x squared. And that simplifies to 3x to the fourth. Okay. That concludes this lesson.